Hello, everyone. Our subject for today is the upcoming Canadian election. 2025, Canada's 2025 federal election, a defining moment for the nation's future. A positive outlook, Trudeau's lasting legacy, and the challenge of U.S. tariff threats as Canadians prepare to cast their votes in the upcoming federal election on April 28, 2025. The country stands at a critical crossroads, facing both internal challenges and global shifts. While the political landscape remains dynamic, many Canadians are entering this election season with renewed hope and a strong desire to protect their values, support social progress, and defend their national interests in a rapidly changing world. This election will shape Canada's future direction on key issues such as housing, climate change, the economy, Indigenous reconciliation, and foreign relations, especially the complex trade relationship with the United States. But alongside these challenges is a strong current of optimism. Canadians have a chance to reimagine the country, build on recent progress, and respond with unity to rising global pressures. A positive outlook. Canadians ready to move forward. Despite uncertainty in the global economy and growing political polarization in some parts of the world, Canadians remain committed to democratic values and to building a nation rooted in inclusion, fairness, and sustainability. Key themes emerging in the 2025 election include housing affordability. With home prices still high, all major parties are offering solutions. The Liberal Party, for example, has pledged to double the annual number of homes built to reduce costs for families and young people trying to enter the market. Climate leadership. Canada continues to prioritize environmental protection. Parties are competing over bold ideas for cleaner energy, carbon reduction, and green infrastructure investment. Access to culture and education. One popular proposal is the Canada Strong Pass, which would offer free access to national museums and cultural institutions for youth under 25. A gesture meant to strengthen Canadian identity and broaden access to the arts and history. Mental health and health care. In the post-pandemic world, investment in mental health care and expanding primary care access is a top concern. Voters are seeking leaders who take mental health seriously. The 2025 election is not only about problems, it is about possibilities. A new generation of voters, especially young Canadians, are entering the political scene with energy and passion. Many are focused on environmental justice, digital innovation, equality, and economic fairness. A decade of Trudeau. Reflecting on a legacy of progress. As Canada prepares to turn the page, many are taking a moment to look back at the decade of leadership under Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who has been at the helm of the country since 2015. Trudeau's time in office marked a dramatic shift toward progressive politics, both at home and abroad. His leadership style emphasized empathy, diversity, and global cooperation, a tone that stood in contrast to rising populist movements elsewhere. Major achievements of Trudeau's tenure include climate action. He introduced a national carbon tax and passed the Net Zero Emissions Accountability Act, committing Canada to a greener future. Canada Child Benefit, a tax-free monthly payment that helped lift over 400,000 children out of poverty. Legalizing cannabis, making Canada one of the first countries in the world to fully legalize marijuana and regulate its market safely. Inclusive cabinet. His 2015 cabinet was the first to achieve gender balance, setting a new standard for representation in Canadian politics. COVID-19 response. Trudeau led a coordinated and science-based response to the global pandemic, including one of the world's most efficient vaccine rollouts and generous support programs like CERB. Indigenous reconciliation. While the road remains long, Trudeau's government committed to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action and invested significantly in Indigenous communities. Despite challenges, Trudeau is seen by many Canadians as a leader who brought dignity, humanity, and vision to the role of Prime Minister. His legacy will be one of advancing equality, investing in climate solutions, and helping to modernize Canada's social safety net for the 21st century. U.S. tariffs and Donald Trump. The rising economic challenge, one of the most pressing and unpredictable issues facing Canada in this election cycle, is the potential return of Donald Trump to the U.S. presidency, and with him, a new wave of tariffs on Canadian exports. Trump has already floated the idea of imposing high tariffs on goods coming from countries he deems to have unfair trade advantages, including close allies like Canada. These threats recall his earlier presidency, 2016 to 2020, during which he imposed tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, sparking fears of a trade war. This time, the stakes could be even higher. If implemented, Trump's proposed tariffs could affect Canadian manufacturing and automotive exports, agricultural products such as dairy and grain, raw materials like aluminum and softwood lumber. The economic consequences could be severe. Job losses, higher prices for Canadians, consumers, and disruptions to supply chains. Many political analysts believe that trade and foreign policy could become a defining issue in the 2025 election. This raises important questions. Which party will best protect Canada's economic interests? Who can stand up to Trump diplomatically and negotiate effectively? How can Canada diversify trade to reduce its dependence on U.S. markets? For many voters, this election is about choosing a leader who will defend Canada's sovereignty with confidence and clarity, especially when facing pressure from its most powerful trading partner. Conclusion: hope, reflection, and national strength. The 2025 federal election comes at a moment of great significance for Canada. Voters are not just selecting the next Prime Minister. They are deciding how Canada will navigate a more turbulent world while holding fast to its values. As Canadians weigh their options, many are guided by a belief in cooperation over division, inclusion over exclusion, and long-term vision over short-term fear. There is a strong sense that this country, diverse, peaceful, and resilient, can continue to be a model of democracy and justice, even amid global challenges. And as the Trudeau era comes to a close, Canadians are also pausing to honor a leader who brought empathy, openness, and progress to the political arena. Justin Trudeau's legacy remains strong in the hearts of many, and his contributions have paved the way for the leaders of tomorrow. As April 28 approaches, Canada stands ready, not just to vote, but to shape its future with hope, courage, and unity.